Venco, a Nigerian PropTech startup, has secured $670,000 in pre-seed funding to offer digital solutions for residential and commercial properties in Africa. The pre-seed funding round was led by Zrock Investment Management. It had other strategic investors, including Voltron Capital, Decimal Point Ventures, Fast Forward Fund, Tayo Oviosu, CEO of Paga, Odun Oweni, CEO of Piggyvest, Oo Nwoye, Dakar Network Angels, and Victoria Business Angel Network, among others. We're joined by Chude Osiegbu, who's the CEO and co-founder of Venco. Thank you so much for joining us, and congrats on your raise.
Thank you for having me.
So for the benefits of our viewers, what is PropTech or property technology?
So PropTech is the application of information technology and platform economics to the real estate value chain. So basically, this is everything from construction to the financing, property management, facilities management, rentals, and so on and so forth.
Okay, so how does, I guess, technology aid what you do?
Basically, what we do is based on technology. So when these environments are built up, usually multi-tenanted properties, they need some way to operate them. There are a number of processes that occur in these properties, everything from collections to issue management to visitor access management, and so on and so forth. So we basically used technology to automate and make these processes more efficient.
So how are you going to utilize the pre-seed, the funding?
Yeah, so the pre-seed funding is mainly going to be used to build out more functionality on the platform, as well as to grow distribution. So we've done quite a bit of growth this year, but we have a really aggressive target for the number of households and communities that we want to serve. So we'll be channeling a lot of those funds to growth.
And do you mostly work with multi-unit properties across different locations?
Yeah, so today we're in about 7 locations across Africa. So we're in Lagos, we're in Abuja, Enugu, Port Harcourt, and a number of places. And it's really focused towards multi-property units now, but ultimately we want to be in every household.
Okay, so I guess let's make this practical for our understanding. A real estate investor has property on the island, mainland, and is, I guess, where you come in is to help collect rent, do maintenance, feedback. Could you flesh it out for us? Yeah,
so typically when you have these multi-tenanted units, you're going to have a facilities manager or someone playing a facilities management role. And when you have these guys, beyond a certain number of units, maybe like 10 units, it becomes quite involved to keep track of all the billing, collections, issue management, visitor access and all of that. And that's really where our technology comes in. So developers or facilities managers who have these types of portfolios then adopt our platform as a way to simplify and streamline all of these processes. So typically we would have, we have many developers who have perhaps anywhere between 10 and 20 different developments that they run from a central location aided by our platform, thereby reducing the amount of manpower that they need to run it, but also increasing efficiency and transparency for the end users.
Great stuff. So they're not outsourcing it to you. They're just using your tech to manage the
Exactly. So we don't do the facilities management. However, facilities managers use our platform. Yeah. So our platform is an enablement for them. Yes.
And you get fees, obviously.
Yes, exactly. So today we monetize by charging subscription fees. But our real play is to ultimately do embedded finance solutions for both those communities as well as the households within them. We've already started piloting this.
Well, explain that. Embedded finance solutions, what? So payments and so on within mortgages or what? How
Okay, so let's put it like this. Most of the customers that use us to enable collections and streamline collections. And with that, we're able to build up an economic profile of the community as well as the households within the community. And this enables us to work with partners to basically finance CapEx in these communities. So we've had more than 10 communities now where we've financed the purchase of prepaid utility meters.
I was about to ask you about that. Okay,
exactly.
Okay.
So, and we're happy to do this because we can then draw down the cost of those that financing as a first line charge off of the collections, of course, with the agreement of the the community.
So from your vantage point, what are the challenges property owners and residents are facing?
So the lack of technology or the inadequate use of technology leads to a big trust deficit, between residents in these communities and the operators of the communities. And those are some of the things that our platform is here to fix. That trust deficit is really there because the operators of the community usually don't have tools that enable them to bring up information really quickly for the people who they serve. And when you're not able to bring up information very quickly, trust becomes an issue, because then the residents in these communities are wondering, are they there cooking the books, or why are they really not keen on bringing this information? In many cases, it's not a reluctance to bring it, it's just that they don't have all that information consolidated in a big place. And one of the big things that we're really doing is enabling the use of technology, but in a really simplified way for the operators of these communities, so that there's transparency and also people can receive services in real time, in a reasonable amount of time.
Well, are you operating anywhere else outside of Lagos, in other states?
Yeah, so we're in Lagos, we're in Abuja, we're in Port Harcourt, we're in Enugu, we're in Ogun, we're in Ekiti. We're also operating outside of Nigeria in Nairobi at the moment.
Do you have any expansion plans beyond that?
Well, within Nairobi, we've just rolled out our first estate, and we have plans to really expand within Kenya, especially starting with Nairobi. Ghana is another great target market for us, as well as South Africa. To be honest, all over Africa, this multi-tenanted format for real estate is picking up steam, really driven by increasing urbanization. Really in the future, most residential real estate is going to be delivered in that format, and they'll need platforms like ours to operate efficiently.
So wouldn't make much sense to do it for a single home property or something like that, would you? Or is that practical?
Well, so it is practical in a sense, because many people think that we're really there for gated estates,
right.
and no, but we are there for multi-tenanted properties, apartment blocks, gated estates, gated streets. We have villages that actually use our platform. So really anywhere there's a collective, even though the properties are single, as far as they exist in a group, they can use our platform, or they can use aspects of our platform.
What kind of challenges are high cost of living posing for residents and what you're doing?
Yeah, well, the high cost of living and the general economic situation makes people price sensitive. So sometimes it may be a challenge to justify our subscription fees, which are rather well priced, even if we say so ourselves. But there are solutions in our platform for that as well. So what are some of the burdens that households and communities carry? Our culture of paying rent, for example, annually. One of the things that we are looking to pilot is a partnership with some other startups, where we can basically convert annual rents that households pay, who are tenants, to monthly rents, and we can do on-lending relationships with banks and with these other fintechs, so that we then make their living experience easier by not having them cough up a massive amount of money at the renewal of their rent. And we are able to do this because we've built an economic profile of those households, because we can see their spend through the platform. We know where they live. So essentially we have enough information where an on-lending kind of setup is de-risked, and therefore also translates into lower costs of interest, for example, to these households.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Look, thanks for coming on. Very, very interesting. We've had so much more to ask you about competition and a whole lot of things, but we'll have you back, because this is a great space that you're playing in, what you're doing.
Yes.
Chude Osiegbu, who is the CEO and co-founder of Venco, PropTech company. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.